sitting separately. I was here and Christine was in front of me. Samaritan who allowed us to sit next to each other, and it appears that it's happening across the plane. So people are asking people to swap places because the booking system for Malaysia Airlines is a very weird one. So yeah, but we're next to each other now, so we can ignore each other. Welcome back and welcome to Sydney. We spent 6 days here and decided to explore on foot as much as we could, roughly walking around 20 kilometres a day around the city. It was really nice as it was really cold, and it's the first time we've been cold in the time we've been travelling, so it really reminded us of being home on the Isle of Man. Definitely one of our favourite things about cities is trying to find the green areas, and Sydney certainly has an abundance of them. Over 100 parks here, but more on that later. Our time in Sydney was short and sweet, from checking out the infamous Bondi Beach on a very breezy day to spontaneously going to a cricket match against the two biggest rival teams, Australia versus New Zealand. Stay tuned until the end of the video where we end our Sydney trip on a high with an epic Blue Mountains tour with Anderson Tours. Although it didn't quite go to plan, it was our favourite day here in Sydney and possibly one of our favourite days so far whilst travelling.
It's 20 degrees, but it feels like probably about 15.
G'day. We got off to a bit of a late start this morning thanks to Sam and his stupid migraine. Woke up with an absolute splitting headache, couldn't move my head. Felt very sick. I got up, had a shower, went outside, had some fresh air, felt sick again. And then Christine kindly went to the shop for me and got some paracetamol, so I took a load of them and now I feel better. So yeah, we're going to spend the entire day out now at Sydney Harbour. Along the way, we're going to go to a place called Hyde Park, and then we'll probably stay at Sydney Harbour area at night time, maybe have dinner under the lights.
I would definitely watch out for the seagulls. I think this bird wants my sausage. My sausage roll. So right now we are here and we are heading for Sydney Opera House.
So back to the parks of Sydney, and as we mentioned earlier in the video, there are over 100 of them here, which makes it a very green city. The first park that we visited was a place called Hyde Park. This is the start point for all walking tours here in Sydney. The fact that they offer walking tours makes it a very walkable city. It's one of our favourite things to do in cities is actually just walk, and we'll eventually get to the end point. That's what we did here. Start in Chippendale and eventually we'll get to the Opera House. The next park we visited was the Domain. This is where actually the locals hung out, where they walked their dogs, played frisbee, had a quick break from work, and that's exactly what we did minus the dog. Bought coffees, bought sandwiches and just people watched. After that we visited the Royal Botanic Gardens, which was absolutely massive and absolutely immaculate. This is where Mrs McCrory's Point is, which is a very famous landmark here in Sydney. It offers spectacular views of Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House itself. We found a very cool place to sit and just watch the boats pass us by. We've just walked the opposite side, Quarry's rock core chair and park. So now we're going to go to the actual Sydney Opera House and check it out. Yeah.
We've literally just arrived at the Opera House and there's a choir that's going on literally in 5 minutes. this is our third day in Sydney, technically second full day because we arrived quite late on the first day. We've actually pretty much only been walking around the entire time we've been here so far. Yesterday we did 18 kilometers and I think we're pretty much going to do the same today. We are going to head for the actual Harbour bridge, like go over the bridge and see some other areas like Darling Harbour. We're really happy to be here and we will continue exploring today and take you along for the ride. To try and find 42 Wallaby Way, Sydney. It's probably not even an address, but maybe it is.
It's a made-up place.
Oh.
All the names here in Sydney are actually all British, so like it's Thompson Street, Thomas Street, Liverpool, Newton, yeah.
I think I saw
King's Cross is a place. It's actually one of the most like visited tourist attractions, King's Cross.
And Hyde Park, and that's actually named after the London's Hyde Park, which is funny.
So once we crossed this bridge, we realised that we hadn't eaten anything for lunch. And it was close to 5 o'clock. Classic us, we know. So we were too hungry and grumpy to record what we ate. We managed to find an amazing pie shop called Bourke Street Bakery on our way to Barangaroo Reserve. The pies here were unreal. So much so we had 2 and they were absolutely massive. They also serve coffee, so definitely check it out if you're in the Harbour area. Get there before 5 though, as all the best sellers sell out fast. Barangaroo Reserve is another great place to visit near the Harbour area and offers amazing views once again of the city. We only wish we had a bike to enjoy this mini trek. We sat and watched the boats for a bit and then circled back in the direction of the Sydney Harbour Bridge.
So we're trying to find the bridge steps to actually go up onto the Harbour Bridge. It's 6:30 already and we've just been kind of ambling around. Not too tired actually. We're finding, because it's not hot, we have like a lot of energy left over, which is really positive. Whereas in Asia, obviously you just sweat your ass off constantly, so it does tend to make you more exhausted quickly. But yeah, we'll see if we can get up here and hopefully it's free.
I've definitely got a fear for heights. I don't think I did, but I actually do. So after nearly being blown off the bridge and losing my hat several times, we decided to head back down to below the bridge, but before we did that, we did manage to see a pretty amazing sunset over the city skyline. We ended up watching some basketball at a court that was built directly underneath the bridge, which was pretty cool to see. I was telling Christine that I used to play, but quickly realised after watching a couple of minutes that I was never really that good. We hadn't eaten anything since lunch during this day, so we decided to walk back to our hotel, which was an hour away from where we were, and grab something quick on the way back. 24 kilometres walk this day, so it's fair to say we covered a lot of Sydney, but still so much more to see. The next day we headed out in search of a different park in a different area called the Centennial Park. We didn't end up using any mode of public transport whilst in Sydney, partly because we were happy to walk, but also we had no signals, so couldn't figure out the trains, but I believe they are very easy to use, much like Singapore. We spent some time here, grabbed a lovely Aussie burger and chips, and attempted to vlog. However, it was very windy in Sydney, so you couldn't hear a word we were saying. What's this? A cold breeze in Sydney? But yeah, it's very windy, it's overcast, but it looks at the weather forecast and it's raining from about 5 AM. And it's very windy, so.
What's it say, Peach? I can't hear you, Peach.
The park just so happened to be very close to a cricket stadium. We had no intention of seeing a cricket match whilst visiting Sydney, but as soon as we heard the noise from the stadium on our way back to our hotel, we instantly felt like we would be missing out. So we ran for 5 minutes back in the direction of the stadium and booked 2 spontaneous tickets at the SGC to watch Australia play host to visitors New Zealand in the 2020 World Cup. It did not disappoint. So we had no idea what seats would be assigned when arriving at the ground, as we turned up as soon as the match started, but it turns out we got quite lucky and we got seats in the members section, so we had really good view of the players' dugout and the wicket itself. We didn't actually record much as we just wanted to take it all in, but we did bear witness to possibly one of the greatest catches we think we've ever seen. We also appeared on Sky Sports, and my mum managed to capture the moment, followed by screaming and laughing at the fact that we were on TV. Thanks, Mum. In the end, New Zealand won comfortably, but as we were headed there next, we didn't care who won. All in all, it was an incredibly exciting, spontaneous and expensive day for us and our families. See you tomorrow where we take it a little more chilled and head to Bondi Beach for the afternoon. There you go, we can say we watched cricket in the SCG now. People know where the Isle of Man is in this part of the world. Thailand? Nope. Singapore? Nope. Kuala Lumpur? Nope. Australia? Oh, they love the Isle of Man. TT races. Let's go. Have a good time, right? That's what they say. Business taking a selfie of me on Bondi Beach whilst Christine was taking probably videos of the sand, and the lifeguard saw me, or the surf rescue saw me. He said, I'll get a better one for you. And he goes, where are you from? And I said, the Isle of Man, and he knew straight away where the Isle of Man's from. He said, oh, TT races, I love the TT. It's very cold though. Christine's already tried the water. It's freezing, it's like Isle of Man temperatures. It's currently 19 degrees, but it feels a lot colder. How cold is it? It's a strong wind as well, so it's very cold, so yeah. Kind of like it, but we're not dressed. That was a great angle. Hold on. Nice shot of my hairy legs. Not really dressed for the occasion. So we're just going to walk to the end of the beach here, head back, early night tonight. We're up early tomorrow, going to the Blue Mountains. And we have to be at a pickup point at 5 to 7 in the morning, which is about a 10-minute walk from my hotel. And we're going to be out all day, and we get to do things like feed kangaroos,
Go on the steepest railway in
Yes.
the world, apparently.
Steepest railway that has carriages to carry people. The steepest railway is actually somewhere in Germany or something, I read. But
And a river cruise, which will be really cool. And then we get dropped off at Sydney Harbour or Sydney Opera House.
Sydney Opera House, and then we have to walk back. I'm not sure if you can hear this. We keep forgetting to bring our new lovely mic out to have better sound quality, but that would still be muffled because of the wind. But yeah.
And my face is going purple because I'm so cold.
My face is actually alright. I've noticed I've got a lot of grey hairs in my beard though. Getting old.
Great place to visit. There's lots of tours you can do. You can visit some of the old prisons, plenty of pubs, and some of the oldest pubs in Australia are down here. Now we're just driving through this bit of a tunnel. This is called the Argyle Cut, and it was originally cut through by the convicts. And you can see the river down there. It's sort of getting a little bit high. And in those major floods, the water level got right up to those houses. There's over 900 different varieties of eucalyptus trees. It's a beautiful garden that was built in the 1880s.
Hello everybody, welcome to a new day. We are here at the Blue Mountains at Echo Point.
I don't think we're going to be able to see anything because it's very, very misty and overcast. It's raining as well, but it's not too bad. We're stretching our legs because we're on the bus and it's quite tight. But yeah, it's actually nice to have a bit cooler weather. We're definitely not used to this after traveling Southeast Asia for 5 months. So we've got our jackets and our fleeces on, and it's actually quite cold. And then next after this is going to be Scenic World, where we go on the steepest, apparently, train ride in the entire world. So, and there's Sam behind me.
It's raining. Isle of Man weather, yes sir.
So we're gonna go have a look at the viewpoint now, take a photo of the whiteness, and yeah.
Castle and Narrow Neck just down there, and Katoomba River down there. All you get from us today, Anna Christine.
Which is more beautiful than the view, so you're welcome. The hat's coming in handy to stop the water going
Nice
in.
and cold, Christine.
Yeah. It's nice though, it's my kind of weather.
On the wet and cold side. Just learned today is that an Aboriginal tribe were at war with another tribe, and 3 sisters fell in love with 3 boys from the other tribe, and that was forbidden because they hated each other, so they went to war. And before they went to war, the witch doctor cast a spell on them to protect them during the war and turned them to stone, and the plan was to unturn them from stone after the war had finished back to their former beauty. But the witch doctor got himself killed, and they couldn't find the bloody staff. So they stayed as stones. So they're in there somewhere. So tune in tomorrow for another episode of Sam's story time, once I learn more about Australia and how it was formed. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. I think my stories are quite edgy as well. Yeah. They bring a different dynamic to our YouTube videos. If you want more of this, let me know in the comments.
Listen to Sam snore you to sleep.
Yeah, dream time with Sam. Listen to my very monotone voice. I'll put you to sleep. Works for Christine, so. All jokes aside, just as I think I'm funny, we are having a great time. Rain doesn't bother us.
No.
We crack on. So yeah, it's a good day.
Kind of chocolate.
Yeah.
Next, we're going to hop on the blue one. Working in a coal mine is a very dangerous thing. Lack of oxygen, poisonous gases, all of that. And you've probably heard they would often send canaries down into the mines because canaries would sing.
Over the trees, we are climbing. We're climbing exactly around 220 metres. On the right hand side, the famous Three Sisters. Very mystical kind of thing. You can still see things, yes, no, Three Sisters, but that's why we got postcards at the gift shop.
2 rides down, 1 more to go, and we are heading back to Echo Point.
To look at some more mist. Literally can't see anything. It's like white around us.
See nothing.
It's like being in the clouds or in the sky, hence why it's called Skyway.
You can hear a waterfall, but can't see it. Because it only ends at about 5:30.
The ferry leaves at 3:30.
Yeah, so still, yeah, it's quarter to 2 now.
So yeah, maybe,
So I think-
maybe we've eaten 15 minutes of our time. Maybe
Yeah.
half an hour.
Yeah, but we'll still get about an hour at the Harbour.
Rob, our amazing guide, had got word from another guy that the weather was starting to clear at Lincoln's Rock, which offered spectacular views of Blue Mountains. Sadly not on our day, as the weather in Sydney this day changed rapidly, which meant we were running behind for our final stop at Featherdale Wildlife Park. As a result, we cut into our time at the park, which we were a little bit gutted about, as there were so many animals that we wanted to see. We therefore prioritised seeing 2, koalas and hand-feeding kangaroos and wallabies. Bonus content here from Sam's story time. Another story early. There's actually small traces of cyanide in the eucalyptus leaf, and the koalas eat this, and they're the only animal that eats the eucalyptus tree, so they have to worry about sources being scarce in the Blue Mountains is 15% of the entire world's population of eucalyptus trees, and koalas get enough moisture from the leaves of the eucalyptus trees it takes so long for the koala to digest the poison, and it works so hard, is that koala bears in a day sleep 20 hours to digest the cyanide. Okay, so it might not have gone to plan on our Blue Mountains tour, as the Blue Mountains were hiding all day due to bad weather across New South Wales. However, it didn't take away the fact that we had an epic last day here in Sydney, ending with our 7th and final stop of the day, taking a ferry down the Parramatta River. Sydney has been an incredible introduction for us into Australia, and we cannot wait to come back already and see more of this amazing country. We've spent most of our time walking around the Sydney Opera House area, so it only seemed fit to end our time back where we started. A full 5 days of exploring, covering well over 100,000 steps. We saw as much as we could, however we could have easily spent another 5 days here, as we know there is so much more to see. Hope you enjoyed this unofficial guide on Sydney. By no means are we a travel guide, but hopefully you found this video helpful on some of the things to see here in Sydney. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new here and want to stay up to date with our upcoming adventures, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Next stop for us is tackling New Zealand, aka Middle Earth, by campervan. Until the next one, peace.